Hi everyone, my name is Beth Zenbauer and I will be your instructor for Math 118 this session. And what I'm going to do here in this video is walk you through how this online course is organized so that you'll know exactly where to find everything you need, your assignments, quizzes, calendar, grades, etc. All right, so let's get started. If you're taking this class with a live Zoom lecture, you're going to find that in this first folder. In fact, notice that this course is organized by folder. Some of them are color-coded here, and the contents of each folder is identified on this line here. Each of these little triangles is, I call it a twisty, gives you a drop down. So if you click on that, you're going to see that it opens up the contents of the folder. So this first folder, again, if you're taking this class via Zoom, remote synchronous, you'll find the Zoom link here. I also have this posted on the calendar, and then you'll find my expectations for the class as well as your required in-person exam meetings. I'm going to close that back up by clicking on that triangle. Next is the welcome folder, and it has my welcome message. You'll see this orientation video posted right here once I complete it. And I just encourage you to spend some time reading through this in detail. I'm going to cover it in summary, but you should go through and make sure that you understand all the contents in this folder, including expectations that I have for the course. It's really important that you use the textbook, the lesson videos, and all the materials available to you. I've got recommended approach for success in this course. So using the materials before you attempt the homework, writing on paper for your homework so that when you're really prepared to take exams. Okay. One thing that is important is that there is written homework in this class. There's no grade for the written homework. However, it's really going to prepare you for the physical exams that you'll take in person. Quizzes, there are 4 online quizzes for the summer session. They are timed. Once you start them, you cannot pause them. So please make sure that you set enough time aside in a quiet place that you can start and complete the quiz in the time frame indicated. Quizzes are only available between 7 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. You'll see them. We'll go look at the calendar in a second, but they'll be grayed out on the calendar until they're available, and they must be completed by 11:59 p.m. So once you start them, the system will automatically shut off at 11:59 p.m. So please make sure that you set aside enough time in advance so that you can complete it by 11:59 p.m. Lastly, we do have 2 in-person required exams, and they'll be indicated for your section on the calendar. If you have testing accommodations, you need to provide me with a copy of your accommodations, and then you'll also need to take your exams at the testing center. I've included a link here for the form that you need to fill out. You must take the exam at the same day and starting time as the rest of the class. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Outlook, but I really recommend that you message me through the Lumen system. It's much easier to communicate through the Lumen system than through regular email. Lastly, we do have free tutoring at our Math and Science Center on campus, so I encourage you. You can find the link here if you want more information and reach out to the center. We also, in this class, when you take the online quizzes, you'll need to include screenshots of some of the online simulation system, the applet that we'll be using. So make sure that you are really proficient at taking screenshots. Here's a couple of videos here for both Windows and Mac. In this folder as well, I have the course outline. I just have the first page cut and paste here. This is a 3-credit class, and based upon federal law, there are actually definitions for how many hours of work go into what the workload is to issue 3 credits at a college level. So because this class is compressed over the summer, that works out to 22.5 hours per week. So what I've done is you'll see in each of the weekly folders sort of my suggestion across 3 different types of work each week: preparation, so watching lesson videos, reading the textbook, computer homework, computer quizzes, and written homework. So you can adjust that to your own needs, but do know that to be successful in this course, it is about 20 plus hours per week that you should dedicate to this class. And then I just give you some suggestions on being successful. I do not recommend cramming the work into a single day, because really this class builds on the topics throughout the semester, the summer session. So it's better to do some work every day. All right, I'm going to close this. If you keep these folders open, it gets to be sort of messy here, so I'm going to close that up. All right, course information and textbook. You'll see again these folders here. I've got the syllabus both in a PDF form and a Word document, as well as there is a syllabus quiz that will just test you to see if you've read the syllabus. You can also access the full textbook here. This is what we call an OER course, so it's open educational resources, so you don't need to buy a textbook. It's the full textbook is right here, but in each section, the textbook will be available to you within the course material. We will be using an applet, a computer simulation applet for statistics. You'll find the main link to the applet right here, and these are the individual applets that we'll be using for this class. I recommend that you bookmark this, as we'll be using that frequently throughout the course. Okay, so next you're going to see the course calendar. This is really, really important. You'll be using the course calendar frequently in this class. So if you click on this, you'll see that you see that shaded there. You can jump to any particular date. So if I click on that number there, it's going to bring the starting point of the calendar to July 6th. You'll see in this case, and it's currently showing 4 weeks. So if I change this, I can see the full, hopefully it changes, I can see the full 6 weeks of this class. You will see every due date. You will see every assignment. You'll find the Zoom link here, and if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that because we're currently on July 6th, you'll be able to click live links here. If you want to see the full chronological order of every assignment, if you click show all, you will see that you can access every single link directly from this page. I really recommend that you use this calendar view as sort of your go-to. Sometimes I do change dates, so this is where would be any updates contained for the most recent calendar. All right, so then you'll see current week and prior week announcements. I do typically post a weekly announcement. If you click on that folder right now, you'll just see the welcome message. So you should be checking that every single day when you log into this course for any the latest update. Once the current week goes by, I'll then move it into the prior week, so you always have access to any announcements that I posted. All right, so then I've got this structured week by week, so you'll notice that this week, so the first week, if you click on that folder, you'll see I have a summary of what we're covering this week, the sections that are covered, the weekly hours that are suggested, and on which assignments. And then I've got every single day mapped out for you here. So you can also in the weekly folders access every single assignment due in addition to on the calendar. So for instance, on July 6th, you should be reading the syllabus, you should be exploring Lumen. On July 7th, the syllabus quiz is due, and you can access it right here. Okay. Then I've got on Wednesday. Now you can always work ahead in the class. I do recommend that. But on, for instance, Wednesday, July 8th in this case, you'll see the textbook section just for section 1.1 is right here. And these are videos that go along with each of the topics. In the textbook section, there are practice problems. And right here, you'll see section 1.1 solutions. For each section, there are also completed solutions. So if you want to use that resource to practice and then check your answers, you've got them all right here. Okay. So I'm just going to click really quick on one of these assignments here to just give you an idea. So here's the written homework. Like I said, the written homework does not count for a grade, but it's a really important aspect of this course because it really is similar to the exams that you'll see. You'll notice redeem late pass. When you read the syllabus, you'll notice that I give 6 late passes. If you happen to have an issue where you need to extend the date by 24 hours, that's it. You can only extend the date by 24 hours. You can redeem this late pass here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And then you'll see up at the top here, you can scroll down. You can see how many questions there are. If I go to question 1, I come down here. It says identify the population of interest. I'm just going to type it in. The population interest is all voters in 1948. All right, so if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see this submit question. When you submit a question, if it's an auto-graded question, it will automatically tell you if you got the answer correct. If you got it incorrect, you can get a similar, you'll see here, get a similar question. You can redo homework over and over again until you get the question correct. So theoretically, you can get 100% on your homework. Now for this written homework, once you enter an answer, if you see this little key here and you click on it, you can see the solution to the problem. So I recommend that you go through here, really pay attention to the wording on these problems so that you understand the expectation for the in-person exams. All right, so let me just go back here. If I go back to the main course page, I'm going to click up there. I do also want to point out to you on the left-hand margin here, you're going to see these quick links. Sometimes if you're like exploring in the folders here, it gets kind of messy and it might be difficult unless you sort of collapse them all to find something. So I've got these quick links here where you can go directly to any of these important folders. Lastly, I'm going to go here, messages, and then we'll talk about gradebook. So messages, if I click here on messages, that is where I really recommend that you correspond with me. You'll notice that you'll see that you have a message waiting for you. It works very similar to regular email. You can reply here to me. And send message. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is go up to the gradebook here. And if you go in the gradebook, you'll be able to see all of the assignments. And I had started this assignment here. So if I go to syllabus quiz and I click on this, you can resume and continue to work on this until you're finished. And like I said here, if you go that drop-down menu, you'll see these green check marks will tell you if you submit a question, if you got it correctly. Let's go to question 9, has an X. You'll see this question is manually graded, so that will show up as a red X until I manually grade the question. And let me go to question 10. In the syllabus quiz, you'll notice that you will be required to practice screenshots. I have a screenshot here. Make sure when you insert the screenshot that you can actually see the picture of what you've taken the screenshot of. Sometimes when you paste the screenshot, you'll get like, it'll be all black. Just delete it and do it again. And I'll go back to gradebook here. When you come down to the bottom of the gradebook, you should be able to see all of your grades and weighted total of in the course, and follow along how you're doing in terms of your grade. And that's it. I look forward to seeing you all and working with you in this class.